Hi there! In this video I'm going to show you how to attach the legs on the friendly bunny pattern. So once you know how they attach, it's pretty simple. So in the first round, which is round 6, we'll attach this first stitch here, and in round 7 we'll add this middle stitch and also this farthest stitch on the belly. And in the last round, round 8, we'll add the last stitch on the top of the leg along with 3 stitches on the edge, the folded edge. Okay, so on this leg I have marked the stitches in similar colors to the chart, so you can have a better idea of what the stitches look like that you'll be adding. So the green stitch is this turning stitch here, and you will not add that in the rounds, but you can choose to sew that down after everything's incorporated. The first stitch you'll add is this pink stitch in round 6, and that by itself. And then in round 7 you'll add this top teal stitch, and you'll also choose to add a stitch along the flattened edge 4 rows down. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be the center stitch, and you'll need to choose whether it's left or right to add one on the right side or one on the left side to make your foot curve the way you need it to curve. So in the last round you will add this top stitch here, which that can come loose, but we're just going to pull that tight and secure it inside the body. And then you're going to add these last 3 along the ridge, and that will secure your leg to the bunny. So let's take a look one more time at the bunny. This is round 6 where we add stitch number 1, and I've sewn down the turning stitch there. Round 7 is this middle stitch and also the stitch on the belly. So here is where you want to decide if how you want your leg to lay. So this one I chose towards the belly. If I would have done on this one here, it would have pulled it in more, but I wanted it to flop out a little bit. And then on round 8 we'll add that top stitch along with 3 on the flattened edge. Okay, so I've worked through round 5 and I'm ready to add the legs and the tail. So I'm going to single crochet 3, and add the heel side stitch on the first leg. So I've marked them so you can kind of see what's going on. Hopefully it's not too much. So the first stitch on the heel side is this pink one. So I'm going to insert my hook into that stitch and the next stitch on the body. I'm going to move that to the side and keep crocheting. I need to crochet 19 to the other side. Okay, so I'm back around to the other side to add my next leg, and I'm going to line up that heel side stitch with the next stitch on my body. Make sure that doesn't get too loose. And I will single crochet 4. And add my tail. So the tail is a 6-part puff stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, and you can pull it up high to make sure your tail is nice and fluffy. And I'm going to do that 6 times. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It can get tight. So that's my tail. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those loops, and then chain 1 to close it off, and single crochet in that next stitch, and just pop that tail outward. All right. So let's start round 7 of adding the legs. We will single crochet 3 until we get to our leg. Now, oops, I pulled that orange out. Now we're going to add this middle stitch, the ocean, and we're going to kind of twist around to get into that stitch. Oops, dropped. There we go. And I'm just going to move that to the side, and I'm going to single crochet 3 on the body. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to add along the flattened edge here. I've chosen this stitch just to the inside, and I will put that in the next stitch on the body. So I'm going to go in that stitch, under the post, into the body. And that's the left leg. Now let's go over to the right leg. I haven't marked this stitch out, so we'll count along and see where it needs to go. So we need the 4th row down. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want it just on the very top edge. I want it just to the inside and go into the next stitch on the body. Now we'll skip 3 stitches on the leg. Careful here that we don't skip an extra stitch on the body. So we'll single crochet 3 on the body. And now we will add the middle stitch on the leg. Remove that so you can see. Now we'll add the middle stitch on the leg to the next stitch on the body. Again, careful here that we don't skip a stitch or do an increase. And we'll finish this round. So that is round 7, adding the legs to the body. Okay, so let's move on to round 8. I replaced all the orange markers so we can see what's going on here. We're going to single crochet 3 until we get to the leg. Now we're ready to add that leg, and we're going to add this top stitch first. And again, we're going to have to kind of twist it around to get into that next stitch on the body. And it's okay that this is going to pull loose. We will fix that later. But so as you twist around, make sure that you are crocheting over this tail so that it will be inside the body. Yeah, pull that snug. And I'll work over it, and I'm going to pull it even tighter. Finish that stitch. The next 3 stitches will be along that top folded edge into the 3 stitches on the body where we skipped the leg in the last round. So the first one is that round just under the top into the next stitch. Make sure to maintain your tension. The next stitch is just below that into the next stitch on the body. Be careful here not to skip any stitches or add any stitches. And it's a good idea to count your stitches after each round in these adding the leg part. So the last stitch will be the 3rd down and into the next stitch on the body. And that finishes adding our leg. That next stitch is worked into the stitch that added the leg on the last round. And we'll work around to the right leg. So I've worked around to the right leg, and we will add along the top edge in the next 3 stitches. So this will be 1, 2, and 3. I just prefer this little crochet trickery over sewing them on. This way I know they're in the same place every time. And the last one. Okay, so now we add this last top stitch to the next stitch on the body. I'm going to make sure again that we're not skipping any stitches or adding stitches. So we'll go in here, twist over towards the tail, and go in that stitch, making sure that we put that end inside the bunny. You can twist it over a couple times. Make sure it's good and tight. We secure that later. Alright, and then we finish that round. So that is attaching the legs for the bunny, round 8. And you can see here where I've marked my turning stitch, how that kind of hangs loose. And this is the turning stitch on this side. So you can use your tails from your legs to sew that down if you like to, or you can leave it hanging. It's not a problem really. So it's your choice. I hope you found this helpful.